What's up, guys? All right, we are here at Dylan Hughes' shop where we are going to be finishing the Toyota Stout or getting it SEMA ready. I don't think we're going to be able to get it fully done in time running. We have a lot to do, so let's get to it. All right, we got the thing coming apart. Panels getting powder coated. Some of the side panels are gonna have to go to the body shop to get fixed and resprayed. Gonna get some of the chrome replated, headlight bezels, badges, mirror handles, door handles. All this stuff's gonna get powder coated black. We got some more stuff coming off the truck now. Today is also about a lot of test fitting. We haven't put our Brembo brake package on, but this is our GTS kit that we're gonna be running. Nice and nice and big. This is actually the same kit that we ran on the Formula Supra. This is their Corvette kit, obviously, since we're running Corvette. Suspension front and rear, double A-arm, and we'll get that dialed in, test fitted, order some hardware, and continue. All right, what are you having to do right now?
We have to cut the case off of the steering rack here so that adapter can go travel all the way into here to max angle.
We just gotta cut this outer shell off to get our maximum of what, 65
is what we were told.
5 degrees?
65, yeah.
So PBM actually custom machined these OEM uprights for us for Caster and Ackerman. So the Ackerman's not adjustable, but it's already all set with the geometry of this layout. We just have to dial in the rest of the kit. Like I said, trim this off for max angle. Trimmed up. All right, so we've had a ton of setbacks, but we're trying to move forward here. Dom is sorting the water tanks for our CSF triple pass radiator. Biddies is throwing fittings on things. We're trying to get like organized parts list of what we don't have right now and ordering a bunch more ARP hardware for the rear suspension, the front suspension. We have our BC Racing shocks dialed so we know what spring rates to get, thanks to Biddies. Look at these things. And we're moving forward. Keep on pushing. Big thanks once again to Index Motorsports. They supported us on the Formula Supra and again supporting us here for the Stout build with all the Brown & Miller hose ends and line. This is all crimp hose using gold collars, black fittings, and then just the associated hose to go with it. Looking tight in there.
It's right on my neck.
So one of the bigger things that had to be designed into the chassis was some foot room, since I'm a lot bigger and the cab was very tiny and compact. The other big challenge that's going to give us is this area for the exhaust manifold where there is not much room at all. So the turbo is going to end up hanging out here. We're going to be using all of the 321 Vibrant 2 for that. All right, Brian is working on the ARE dry sump tank. So what we did on the Formula Supra, since we couldn't run such a long tank, we had a lot of this stuff external, which was the Spin Trick air oil separator. The top of this has that all built into it. So it's all one package, which is a little more clean, and we have plenty of room to place it in the chassis, which is nice. So we're gonna have it right next to our anti-gravity lightweight battery. And we are gonna work on just dialing in our AN fittings, whether we need 90 straights or some 120s. The boys have been cranking. I went home for 2 days to see my family and my son Roman, and I'm back out here and I'm gonna update you guys with what they did because of course they didn't pick up the camera and film anything, so all good. That's not why they're here. So Dom absolutely crushed it on the bezel for the new dash from Motec. So this is the C1212 or the 1212 display. We tried to fit it in the Supra, but the thing is so freaking big and wide and tall that it just wasn't gonna fit for that car. So we got the 127 in there, and then I wanted to repurpose this in the Stout project. It was perfect. We got the fittings, proper fittings for our water pump, so now we can start doing some of the plumbing on our CSF. This is our CSF triple pass radiator, something that they developed with Mike Essa. He runs it in all his Pro Drift cars, so I'm stoked to have that in this. We have our Spall brushless 12-inch electric fans. Powder coat's coming back, so we got this powder coated. Our tanks are getting heat dissipating Cerakote, and those will go right here. So just waiting on the springs for our BC Racing ER shocks on the rear cantilever cross member. We got our anti-gravity battery, so a lot of the same companies that supported us on the Formula Supra stepped up to support us here too. So very stoked to have all these amazing partners helping us out. And then we have our 10-gallon radium fuel cell with the whole system in the tank, which is awesome. So it just makes wiring and plumbing super easy. Quick change rear ends, all blacked out. Also, I gotta say a huge thank you to my dudes at OMD, Ferrari, Steve and Corey Martin down there. They're taking care of us. We had some issues with the mid plate and the adapter plate for the transmission. So that's all getting fixed right now. And as soon as we get the drivetrain back, we'll be in good shape. All the PBM arms are all getting powder coated right now. The last thing, this truck has so much freaking Bondo on it. So I sent the rear panels, front fenders, hood, grill, all that stuff is off at my buddy Damien's shop. And he is doing all the body work, and he's just been sending me pictures of like the holes in the sides of the stuff. So as you can see, this is from Kibbetech, and they just basically heated this thing up and the Bondo just fell out of the thing. After SEMA, since it's not time to do this, they're going to grind all the Bondo off, fill the holes and do it properly like it's supposed to be. And then repaint the cab and the doors, and that'll be the last of it. But everything else looking good. The ADV fiberglass panels came out so good that they just have to block them down and respray them. Just had to modify our CSF oil cooler a little bit. We just flipped it around and changed the fittings so that we had dash 12 weld bungs, so we can just pop some oil lines on and off there with a 45 bend, so they can just go straight back. Getting all the pedal box and reservoir stuff and handbrake sorted. I am going to, just like the Supra, only run one set of rear calipers, and we're actually going to be using this valve from my buddy Josh LaRosa in Connecticut. So big thanks, Josh, for this. This is what is called a shuttle valve. You tie it into the braking system with your foot pedal and your handbrake in your reservoir. And basically what it does is doesn't allow feedback when you're using the handbrake and the foot pedal. It kind of just lets you use the handbrake. It doesn't feed back through the system into the foot pedal. So this should be a really good, I haven't used it before, but I think this should be definitely a plus up from just kind of tying an inline situation. So this should make it feel a lot more independent. These are Rotiform LSRs, 3-piece front and rear. We're gonna be running a 9.5 front, which these are, and then we're waiting on the 10.5 rears. And the Nitto NT05 is a 265 35 18 front, and we're gonna run a 275 40 18 rear. Blacked out inner barrels. These things I think look sick. 20Ks.
Yeah, but
starting
it's
at
like,
20.
No, it's like 5.
No, with the motion ratio, it's
5 3/4.
Okay.
After the motion ratio and the rocker ratio.
right. How did you figure the rocker ratio with the motion ratio?
It's the difference of the two.
Okay.
It gives you a ratio of this, and then you put that into the spring rate, and then you add the motion ratio where this picks up on the lower control arm and the angle of this, and then you do a bunch of math.
You're a math magician?
I use the internet.
So Dom's just gonna cut 2 flats on this weld bung from Vibrant, just so we can get a wrench on here and be able to tighten it nice and tight without twisting or bending anything. Not quite the best mill, but she's cutting. Well, it was a team effort with Dom doing most of the work. Looking sick though. Coolant hard lines done, and coolant soft lines done. This fitting sticks out a little too much for the side panel to go on, so Dom's gonna cut this flush and re-weld this dash 16 bung back onto the sheet metal instead, just so we can get a little, another 3/8. It should not be coming into contact with the fitting at that point. All right, fresh powder coat on all the PBM arms. Gonna look sick on this thing. We got the Part Shop Max blackout kit going down. Left rear corner done. Brembo kit, ARP studs, Hartsock Max billet knuckle, freshly powder coated arms, all the way up to our glorious suspension cross member for the cantilever. Freaking stoked on how this is coming out. Dom's been cranking on some brake lines. Got one of the first hard lines done. Another one coming out here. Boom, boom. And then we're waiting on our PVC coated line. This is one of Dylan's for mock-up. Progress, baby. We got the shuttle valve installed right there. Starting to work on the back now. Tuck all the way in here. See some of Dom's work. Boom. Give me an update, boss.
The car was in the air. Dom was finishing the hard line, you can see right there.
Look at that hard line, baby.
It looks really nice.
Look at those bends.
Yeah, it follows the frame all the way back if you can see it.
So we had an issue with another shop that did not prep and or put the Cerakote on properly on all our oil tanks, water tanks, and intercooler. So Ryan thankfully stepped up, took us through the whole process, sent me video while it was happening, and knocked it out in less than a day.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable. Yep. So Ryan, very much appreciated, dude. This is the type of service we need.
This is a product that we use for all of our transfer coatings for multiple different companies that use intercoolers, radiators, anything water or air cooled that you want to dissipate the heat. This is the product.
Got our Motec stuff hanging right here. Brian is going to, when he gets back to his place, start doing the harness. Once we measure everything up, we'll have a bulkhead connector right through here, go right through the trans tunnel to the back.
Yeah.
So all the wiring is gonna be super tight and clean. Keep that done, baby. Gotta throw some stickers on her. All right, so this is the rear window hovering over a trash can, and it does not fit anymore. Dom and I are gonna head to Forsberg shop where we're gonna have to cut a piece of Lexan. The molding just came in, and Forsberg has some Lexan, so we're gonna go cut the rear window out, and then we can kind of flex it in here because it's obviously flexible. Tricks of the trade over here.
I don't know if it's gonna go in.
Got the rope in there. Pull it from the inside to get this around the edge. See if it works. It's pretty tight. On the ground for the first time with the proper wheels. Here we go. Drive shaft shop coming through for us, baby.
Yeah, you can't go to SEMA without it, bro.
Big thanks to Tad and the boys. Drive shaft is coming shortly. All right, big thanks to the boys at PTP Turbo. So I have everything from, you know, -16, -20 to -12, -10, 6 and 8. And then we're not gonna use a lot of this until we get the turbo kit on the car, but we have a turbo blanket ready to go. And then some even higher temp for turbo oil drain line and coolant fittings. Motor's going in, boys. So we're on to the next problem solver. We just got some new brackets for our Barnes dry sump pump. Before it was kind of sitting way up high like this, and there is literally zero room for Dom to build a manifold here. So we're trying to get this as low as we can off the side of the engine so that there's a little more clearance there. All right, boys, we're here with Damien
what up,
from Auto
what
Explosion.
up?
Damien is taking care of all the paint work on the Stout. And
yeah.
he literally sanded off like over ½ an inch of Bondo on the back of these panels. So it really sucks that the truck was in pretty rough shape actually underneath that paint job they threw on it. They did not do good body work, and that's why we're here, getting it done right.
Doing it right, last minute.
Yeah, I'm stoked. So the panels are all looking good. They have all of the fiberglass stuff already primed up, ready to go. These are the front fenders. These are still metal, so obviously the over fender bolts onto this. We're in good shape over here, and we're gonna be picking these things up soon. It's gonna be a Saturday, Sunday of non-stop work, just assembling all of the stuff on the truck because we're gonna get everything all at the same time. Pump this thing's getting done right. So thanks, Damien.
Yeah.
All right, he's got some footage of spraying, sanding, painting, so we're gonna roll that stuff right now. right, boys, we are back here at Damien. The boys have been crushing it, painting all the panels, and these are all drying in the sun right now. These are just freshly sprayed.
I think it's one of the hardest years that I went because of the 830 too.
I know, you guys have been working nonstop.
Working on that one.
Take a vacation when SEMA's done, dude.
You came with this one like it was like a little like, hey, here come.
Yeah, I literally hit up Damien and was like, bro, I need to paint this thing. Can you make it happen? And I was like, that was like 7 days ago. So yeah, there's not enough time to do the doors in a cab. So we're gonna run a SEMA with all the fresh stuff on the truck, put the livery on. We're gonna have to bring it back to Damien and get the rest done up. So this thing is absolutely perfect. Look at these things, dude. All right, we got a ton going on today, and I'm just filming a bunch of random stuff. Everybody's working on multiple projects, trying to just get this thing together as fast as possible for SEMA. We got 1 day left, and we're making it happen. Dom is jamming, Brian Hartsock is jamming, and then we got Alex over here. He just showed up with the vinyl, and then when we get the panels on this baby tonight, probably tomorrow morning, you guys will see what this thing looks like for the first time. We got a bedside on, guys. Get excited. Dude, that looks so sick. All right, guys, we on, one bedside on. So we got a bunch of negative camber, and then when the suspension falls, it comes out a little bit. So we're gonna see where we're at under there, and then probably put a spacer on, because I don't think it's gonna come out enough. So we'll get that dialed when it gets on the ground, but everything's coming together. All right, dry sump pump, getting plumbed. All right, Dom's just wrapping up the rest of the hard line. So we have stainless -8 and -6 for the fuel system, from radium tank to the radium fuel pressure regulator. And then we have -16 return to the oil tank, -12 feed to the pump, and then we're gonna have a -10 breather to the top of the oil tank. So all that's gonna be hard line, all running back here. So it'll be nice and clean. And then we'll have nice and easy routing up to the oil tank. I already got half the line cut, ready to go. So as soon as these are fixed in here, Brian will start doing the rest of the plumbing. All right, boys, we got Alex here. He's the one who wraps all the Papadakis racing cars, and he is also wrapping the Stout, kicking it off with the Mobile One Pegasus on the hood. Mobile One, TRD, Toyota, making this whole project happen. Yeah. All right, guys, it's late, the night before SEMA. Alex just got done finishing a livery. Thankfully, Alex only lives like 3 miles away, so there were a couple little issues that we have, but nothing major. Yo, thanks for crushing it, man.
No worries.
As always. Dom just put the old Stout 1900 fender badge on to really complete it. Our buddy Damien just came and flew his drone around, so we're gonna roll that footage of him flying around this thing, and then we'll see you guys at the SEMA show.